OpenAI last week just launched their newest artificial intelligence model called Sora. It's a text to video model where it takes a prompt and it generates a surprisingly high quality video product. And I believe that I and many others believe that this represents a dire threat to the Hollywood establishment, because last year when we saw that primitive video of an AI generated Will Smith eating spaghetti in an extremely disturbing manner, we would have never predicted that this technology would advance as quickly as it did. And the examples that they've posted from this AI model are shockingly good, shockingly realistic. They could probably fool most people, at least from what I've seen. It's not open to the public yet, so you can't just go to their website and use it, but they're still in the testing period, and the examples that they've shown us so far are really kind of impressive. And I wouldn't be saying that if I didn't mean it. So it says, Sora is an AI model that can create realistic and imaginative scenes from text instructions. And not only that, you can give a still image as a prompt for it to make a video out of a still image, or you can submit just a video and it will extend the video or make up for missing frames as well.
At the very least, the need for like helicopter establishing shots will be out the window.
Oh yeah, it's over for drone shots. Yeah. We're teaching AI to understand and simulate the physical world in motion with the goal of training models that help people solve problems that require real world interaction. Introducing Sora, our text-to-video model. Sora can generate videos up to a minute long while maintaining visual quality and adherence to the user's prompt. And, like, look at this. I mean, if you just saw this as stock footage, would you be able to clock it? Because I'm not sure I would.
Is there, like, nothing behind the eyes? Is that what they're saying? Like,
well, it's a dog, so that doesn't... I mean, it doesn't exactly count as much. I didn't see a lot of close-ups of human faces.
Nope, that'll take time.
But maybe they're not showing us
Here's another one.
The bad examples. They're showing us the best they could come up with. But they did show like an extreme close-up of a woman's eye blinking. I don't think I would have been able to clock this as AI generated. And there were also some animated examples. Cartoon kangaroo dancing.
There is something to be said that
like
most
Pixar is quaking.
Most of what you're seeing here is also shown in ramped slow-mo, which clocks, like when you're watching a movie, you're not going to be watching these shots in 60 or 120 frames a second. You're going to have to see them cycled back down to 24, which could affect it.
Like, let's not be too hasty and say that they're about to start making movies with this.
But here's an example from a year ago, if you guys remember.
Wait, is the sound on?
No, I don't know if it has sound. Yeah, it is. So here's Will Smith eating some spaghetti.
Love it.
Love it.
That's a vibe.
Right, here we go. And then we had this one of a cat.
Oh. Okay, the human face is disturbing.
But this is a year's worth of progress.
Yeah.
So
and can you imagine where this will be in a year from now?
The cat's movements are unnatural, right? The cat's movements are unnatural, but that's
sure.
a year of progress is a lot of there's a lot of progress here in just a year.
Yeah. Says Sora is able to generate complex scenes with multiple characters, styles of motion, and accurate details of the subject and background. The model understands not only what the user has asked for in the prompt, but also how those things exist in the physical world. It has a deep understanding of language, enabling it to accurately interpret prompts and generate compelling characters that express vibrant emotions. It can also create multiple shots within a single generated video that accurately persist characters and visual style.
I would like to see some stuff that ramps this stuff back down to 24 or 30 frames a second to see how it holds up, because everything it's showing me is very much in slow motion. I mean, if they fix the teeth on this thing's licensed to print money as a universal character.
Yeah, they could make toys out of this character any second. This is the clip that should have Disney and Pixar quaking in their boots.
At least the character. Obviously, the fire is bad, but the rest of it.
Look at that. I want to name it.
again, what we're talking about here, here's the thing. We're talking about mass produced art. We're not talking about indie films. We're not talking about whether or not the film or the movie or whatever it is has soul, or whether there's
This is what you're going to see in a pharmaceutical commercial.
Yes, exactly.
In 2030.
So we're talking about the fact that at the corporate level, there's very little soul in the art anyways, because it takes 10,000 people to make each of these things, and it costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and a lot of human beings will end up losing their jobs because they're just going to be able to make it faster this way.
And if struggling actors looking for roles as extras were struggling already, they're about to be totally just taken out of the market. We got a $20 from Gordon Shumway. There will be a day when AI will be so realistic that when the film industry goes on strike, the film companies will go, you know what, we're good, and they will all be unemployed overnight, slowly and then suddenly.
Here's one of these from the website, from the actual Sora website.
Like, I, upon the first glance, would have just taken this as
Blade Runner 2099?
As actual stock footage. Like,
Again,
I'm sure if you look closely and you're already told that it's AI generated, you can clock things, but...
And here's the thing. When you're watching it in a movie, this clip will play for 2 to 3 seconds at max.
Or this will be in the background of an existing scene. They admitted the current model has weaknesses. It struggles with accurately simulating the physics of a complex scene and may not understand specific instances of cause and effect. For example, a person might take a bite out of a cookie, but afterward the cookie won't have a bite mark. The model may also confuse spatial details of a prompt, mixing up left and right. It may struggle with precise descriptions of events that take place over time, like following a specific camera trajectory. And they also made this long statement about safety practices with OpenAI's products. They said they're working with red teamers who are domain experts in areas of misinformation, hateful content, and bias. And they are hired to adversarially test this model. So what they're trying to do is hire a bunch of people who work at NGOs and nonprofit think tanks, like the ADL, for instance, in order to test this model and make sure you can't make videos of Hitler with it. And you can't make porn with it, for instance. They said, our text classifier will check and reject text input prompts that are in violation of our usage policies, like those that request extreme violence, sexual content, hateful imagery, celebrity likeness, or the IP of others. So you can't ask for Mickey Mouse.
Correct.
Or you can't ask for Tom Cruise. You can't ask for pornography or extreme violence, which is subjective, but these things are going to go against their usage policies. But then eventually there will be unregulated technologies that have similar capabilities as well that will allow you to do all of those things.
So this is like, for this original clip that we watched, if you look at it, it says, prompt, beautiful snowy Tokyo city is bustling. The camera moves through the bustling city street, following several people enjoying the beautiful snowy weather and shopping at nearby stalls. Gorgeous sakura petals are flying through the wind along with snowflakes.
Pretty.
So the experts will be the ones who are able to aptly describe what they want in the most detail, giving it the best chance of success.
And I don't know, like, I'm not an expert on like the actual technological details and what the capabilities actually are. A lot of people don't understand the way ChatGPT works. It doesn't actually understand what you're saying. It is using all of the input from the internet to like make an amalgamation of what the English language is. It's kind of just spitting out input that already exists out there. So I assume it would be the same for this.
This was always going to happen with the mass collection of data that is the internet.
Right. Yeah. And now it's going to belong to everyone.
Somebody said Mickey's IP ran out. No, Steamboat Willie's IP ran out.
Big difference. Don't try to make a movie about Mickey Mouse. You will get sued.
Mickey is still very much under copyright.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's like I really do believe that a lot of those establishing shots, insert shots for films, that's going to go by the wayside, and these jobs are going to end up being contracted out to the people who are best able to use these programs. And we saw what studios were like. Several studios were hiring AI, basically heads of AI departments for like $100,000, $150,000 a year jobs to be head of like their AI research departments, which was just supposed to be like investigating how they can best implement these technologies into their existing business models
before those technologies are used to impoverish them.
Yes, exactly.
Someone
basically,
tweeted,
hire you to bring about your own destruction.
I saw someone talking about how AI video means you'll be able to tell it to make more episodes of your favorite shows that have been canceled, and I don't even know where to start with that. AI evangelists don't understand art. They don't get why anyone would want to actually make it. They only know it's a thing that can be sold, and they think they can replace artists with robotic arms like is happening elsewhere. Funnily enough, they themselves would probably be just as happy watching whatever artless AI slop their machines churn out as they would the real thing, comprehending it as they do on the same level as a dog.
I don't want to see AI versions of shows that have ended because I would still have to do the input prompts, which means it would just basically an amalgamation of my ideas rather than the ideas of the writers.
What if it's somebody else's prompt and you don't have to do any of the work of refining it?
Now, if they could get the original writers of the show to come in and do the prompts, I might be down to at least see what it looked like.
I mean, I would be curious, but
it's also funny because like we've seen like a lot of, there's this really funny version where Britney Spears does the song "It's Gonna Be Me," and it sounds literally just like the song except her singing it.
Yeah.
Because her voice is so processed as it is. There's no change in tone or inflection. Every run that's performed on the song by NSYNC is done exactly like it would be, like it was in the original song, but it's done with her voice. Whereas the real artist might choose to go a different route, so you lose the unpredictability.
Yeah, and I think that's why you shouldn't see AI as a threat to humanity. It might be a threat to certain industries and certain jobs, but at least the core of what I at least believe makes humanity special is not being threatened and is not going to be threatened by AI.
Yep, there will still be a demand for classic, well-made human art.
And just the knowledge that it's something was made by a human being is going to put a premium on it. At least we can hope.
Made by a person.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.